individual did indicate, okay, you want me to be louder? Okay, I'll try my best. He did tried so hard to find out exactly what was happening about Sinky Mnisi, whether I was still at Royal AM, whether I've been fired, whether I've been suspended and all that. You know, ladies and gentlemen and members of the media, let me start by saying, as a CEO, some members of the media should go and Google and check what are the responsibility of a CEO in a company. Because seemingly other people don't understand what are the responsibility of a CEO. Secondly, what I know, I don't know whether other people are subscribing to a different idea. The CEO is normally judged on the success of a company. Then the CEO, they will tell you that the CEO is doing a good job or not. The performance and the success of that company. At the moment, we've got a problem with ESCOM, and it is director or whatever they call him. They say, no, he's not a good CEO. And I also want to place it on record today before I even go to my press statement that, guys, when I joined Royal AM, I was headhunted. The president of Royal AM approached me and requested me to join Royal AM. I didn't apply for the job. As a matter of fact, I have never applied for a job in all the teams that I've served. I've always been appointed, headhunted and appointed from the days of Classic, Jomo Cosmos, Dynamos Football Club, Highlands Park, and up to Royal AM. And indeed, my record is impeccable. Nobody can dispute what I've achieved with those. I've heard other people saying that, no, Jomo Cosmos was relegated. Jomo Cosmos was relegated. I was never at Cosmos when they were relegated. When Classic was relegated, I was never at Classic. I was at Dynamos when Classic was relegated. Yes, when Highlands Park was relegated, I was there. I was party to that because the minute you get into the Premier League, everybody knows. And people wanted to apply their so-called knowledge, and we got relegated. And I'm the one who stood up and said, we'll be promoted, we'll go back to the Premier Soccer League. Now, for quite some time, I've been very, very quiet. And like I was saying, this particular individual did mention that we know Sinky Mnisi to be vocal, and why has he been quiet about this? I will deal with that part at the end of the day. I just want to take everybody through my press statement today. The events of the past months regarding my alleged suspension, charges, dismissal by Royal AM has taken a toll on my reputation. I've taken legal advice not to respond to media statements regarding my alleged suspension, charges, and dismissal, but to wait for the storm to settle and then comprehensively respond once and for all. Speculation were rife in the media regarding the reasons for my alleged suspension, charges, and pending dismissal. These reasons range from the release of Coach Maduka without the knowledge of the president of Royal AM, whilst the president of Royal AM was overseas, the hiring of Coach Khabo Zondo, the sale of Mashikinya, the release of Mapena, the sale of Litswalo, and the signing of Marlon Hugh for a longer period instead of one season, as well as sinking the team and taking my own decisions. Can you just scroll it? For the record, to the members of the media, all these allegations made against me are factually incorrect, without substance and malicious. I had high expectation that the president of Royal AM shall refute and distance herself from these allegations, particularly because some publications quoted her as the source of the allegations against me, and she appeared at various media platforms where the question of my alleged suspension was directly posed to her, and she did not categorically deny that I was not placed on suspension. For the public information, I thought it would be prudent for me to place the true facts on the table for everyone to judge for themselves. 1, I will give you copies of this particular media release. I think I'll ask the gentleman to give you that. Right. The release of Coach Maduka. Firstly, in case all of you did not know, during the June month when everybody had closed, had gone home, I was the only person who was working at Royal AM, and the president was also overseas. Purely based on the fact that I was preparing what we call, not a compliance, to what we call a club licensing document that was needed by the PSL as well as CEOff. And I sent a letter of appointment to Coach Maduka to sign at the beginning of June 2022. And remember, that letter had to come with the qualifications for CEOff as well as his IDs. Mr. Maduka did not sign the letter of appointment as requested, but at the same time did not indicate that he declined the appointment. And as a matter of fact, Maduka sent me back the ID, his ID copy, and as well as the qualification certificate, certificate for his qualifications, but never signed the appointment letter. And send it back to me. Mr. Maduka, through his agent, Mr. Neo Madlala, instead wrote an email requesting mutual termination of his contract, that he was not prepared, and he had reasons that he was not prepared to canvass on the document. He said he had reasons that he was not prepared to. That document is available in the public domain, and if there's anybody who wants that, I can give that. And I find it odd and strange that people keep on saying that Sinky Mnisi released Maduka without giving reasons. I don't expect to be giving reasons on behalf of Maduka, because Maduka, through his agent, indicated that he had reasons, but he was not comfortable to canvass those reasons. And we respected that. And over and above that, Mr. Maduka, in that email, requested that he serve a notice from the 6th of June to the 6th of July 2020 so that he can be paid remuneration for his notice period. I requested the agent to ask Coach Maduka to co-sign the email and as confirmation that he has full knowledge of the contents thereof. Mr. Maduka sent an email separately confirming such. I forwarded the email to Mr. Maduka through email of Mr. Maduka's request to the president of Royal AM while she was overseas. I want to make that very, very clear. I forwarded the request of Mr. Maduka's mutual termination request to the president while she was overseas. I will deal with that in terms of the evidence. The president of Royal AM can we? Okay. The president of Royal AM accepted the emails, the email and the mutual termination of Mr. Maduka. And as a matter of fact, and I've got that also on record, the president then called me from overseas, and I told her that there was a situation Mr. Maduka didn't want to work, and I've emailed the document through to her, and Mr. Maduka wanted to serve a notice. In her own words, the president said, no, Mr. Maduka should not even serve the month's notice because it's impossible for a coach to be coaching my team whilst he knows that he wants to leave. So, I prepared the letter accepting Mr. Maduka's request for mutual termination, of course, through the attorneys of Royal AM, on the same terms as directed by the president of Royal AM, and forwarded the same to Coach Maduka to sign, which Coach Maduka signed. Now, it is quite impossible that today, through some sources, it should be said that I fired Maduka, I didn't work well with Maduka, and I didn't give the reasons. What reasons would I have given if, in actual fact, Maduka indicated that he didn't want to canvass any reasons? And secondly, I had given Maduka a letter of appointment And Maduka didn't sign that letter. Instead, he sent me a mutual termination request. So I don't understand why should I then now be accused of having fired Maduka without the knowledge of the president. It is neither here nor there. Let me go to the issue of hiring of Coach Khabo Zondo. There's only one coach, and I'm placing it on record again, that was interviewed by myself and the president, except Zondo. We interviewed Kevin Johnson. The reason why Kevin Johnson was interviewed, because when the agent of Nukovic came, Nukovic's agent and Kevin Johnson, they are using the same agent. He also brought along Kevin Johnson, and we spoke to Kevin Johnson. And we didn't agree on one or two things. And we kept it quiet. And because of time constraint, we had to look for a coach. And the president was leaving, moving overseas. So the hiring of Coach Khabo Zondo was done firstly with the recommendation of the Royal AM president and the full knowledge of the Royal AM president. If you remember very well on Radio Metro, Khabo Zondo was asked a question as to how he happened to end up at Royal AM. He said the first call that he got was from the president of Royal AM asking him whether he was available, and that the CEO was going to phone him. And indeed, it happened like that. I phoned Khabo Zondo, we spoke to Khabo Zondo, and the last person to make the final stamp of hiring Khabo Zondo, of course, was the president. And I've got documentary proof of that. And I was not there. And remember, during this June month, when people claim that I was suspended, you know, I'm a human being, I need to relax. I'm running a farm also. I had to go and relax and enjoy myself. And when Khabo Zondo was called to be introduced to the public, I was not there. The president phoned Khabo Zondo. So for people to insinuate that Khabo Zondo was hired by me without the knowledge of the president, it's a blatant lie. It's not true. And again, gentlemen, with due respect to everybody in the media corridor, I wouldn't just go and hire a coach without the owners of the team not knowing, because they are the ones that must pay the coach. I cannot just hire somebody and then put up a salary. And as a matter of fact, the package of Khabo Zondo was agreed upon between me and the president. Hence, I went ahead and did what I was supposed to do. This notion of Khabo Zondo being my friend is also neither here nor there. Yes, I know Khabo Zondo from Classic Football Club, but Khabo Zondo coached Royal Eagles. And I was not there at Royal Eagles. He was the coach of Royal Eagles. So the president knows Khabo Zondo, and that's it. So the process of hiring Khabo Zondo on the 17th and was duly finalized by the president of Royal AM on Tuesday, the 21st. Mark that date, 21st of June 2028, around 8:30 a.m. I wouldn't have hired the coach Khabo Zondo without the knowledge of the president of Royal AM, as the salary was to be paid, was to be approved by the president of Royal AM, and which salary was agreed upon by myself and the president of Royal AM. I can confirm that the president of Royal AM was aware of the hiring of Khabo Zondo. 3, the sale of Mashikinya. I've heard people saying that I'm sinking, I've been trying to sink the team. You know, looking into the success of Royal AM, you know, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very much proud of myself. You know, my record in football is intact. Any team that I've joined has been performing well, and nobody can take that away from me. Royal AM, when I joined Royal AM, it was Royal AM, and let me put this record straight. Royal AM didn't make Sinky Mnisi. No, it's actually the opposite. I've contributed to the success of Royal AM to make Royal AM what they are. When I got into the first division, Glad Africa, let me respect Glad Africa, we performed. And I was the first person to have made a statement, also on Radio Metro with Robert Mara, that we're going to be promoted and take #1 in the what you call. And let me put the record straight today again. We did took #1. Save for the boardroom decisions. We won that league, and I'm still sticking to that. I'm still waiting for somebody who can challenge me on that. Royal AM won the league, except for the boardroom decision. And it doesn't mean if an arbitrator has decided that whatever he did, or because his decision finally is right, it doesn't mean like that. In terms of the laws of the game, the football, I am telling you now, Royal AM won the league. That is a story for another day. I don't want to know anything. And I am the one who pronounced that we're going to win the league. I was with Andile Mpisane on the day, if you remember very well. And we won the league. Now, who is this person who will say, I'm sinking Royal AM? When Royal AM got to be with the president bought Bloemfontein Celtics. You know, I've heard a lot of journalists saying, no, they are supposed to play well, they are having the Bloemfontein Celtics players and all that. It's unethical of people to talk like that. The Bloemfontein Celtics and Maduka have been at Bloemfontein. They couldn't achieve what they achieved at Royal AM. Finish and clear. It was Royal AM that did whatever they did. And I had indicated again, I pronounced that we were going to be in the top 8. I did. And we were in the top 8. Later on, I did indicate that once we're in the top 8, we'll qualify for Africa. And which team have I been sinking, gentlemen? Which team have I been sinking? And what do I stand to benefit to sink Royal AM? This is part of my legacy. I've done very well in South African football cycles. So for people to go around and say, I'm sinking teams, and I don't know which one are they talking about. On the 10th of June, in terms of the Mashikinya issue, on the 10th of June 2020, I prepared a one-year option letter and sent it to Mr. Mashikinya's agent, Mr. Jasmine Mahlakanye, for the extension of Mr. Mashikinya's contract with Royal AM and for Mr. Mashikinya and his agent to sign. That was on the 10th of June. Despite the receipt of the letter of extension of Mr. Mashikinya's contract with Royal AM, both Mashikinya and his agent did not sign the letter, which was sent via email. The president of Royal AM as well as the general manager were copied in the email. They were copied by me. The president of Royal AM advised me that she discuss the possible sale of Mashikinya with Maritzburg United. And I repeat, this is what the president told me. Not actually told me, I've got documentary evidence that it happened like that. And he discussed that with the chairperson of Maritzburg. I was not involved in the discussion and I was not present when the movement of Mashikinya to Maritzburg FC took place. I'm referring to the fact that they say I've sold Mashikinya. I was not involved. I was still on the farm now in July. I do not know how Mashikinya, through his agent, moved to Maritzburg United, and neither did I issue a clearance certificate. Remember, the clearance certificate are to be signed by me. I didn't issue, and somebody must have done that. I don't know how that deal went through. Yet people are saying I've sold players without the knowledge of the president. The contract, number 4, the release of Mabena, which I'm also accused of. The contract for releasing Mr. Mabena to join Morocco was negotiated and signed by the president of Royal AM FC and Swallows FC. This actually happened when the president of Royal AM entered into a contractual agreement with Swallows to purchase 3 players, namely Solomon, Ndlovu, and Hameldin for 1.5 million. I will pause there and just add something on that. It's not on the article. It was on a Sunday when I went to the office. I've got an office in Sentin as a CEO at the president's place, gentlemen. I've heard, I will go to the person who claims that I've got an office at Makulong Stadium. I'll deal with that because there's the Guneyimbongi before it. Minangsudaga boy. People will just go there in the media. But you can't suspend and fire a CEO who media people. Please give me respect. Swallows approached Umamkiza when they had financial difficulties. Their players were on strike. And they negotiated no Umamkiza. Umamkiza wanted 3 players. The 3 players were Solomons, Dylan, and was Solomons, Ndlovu, and Hameldin. The agreement, the contractual agreement, which was prepared by an attorney, was between Mr. the president of Swallows, Mr. Mokashwa, and the president of Royal AM, not Sinky Mnisi. And if you remember vividly, I think I was on Metro. I did say I think the Solomon deal might be having some problems. I didn't say anything. I said that this requires attorneys to deal with. I didn't say anything, and people started accusing me that, no, he has started Solomon. And I'm telling you today, in terms of the contract that we are having, that people didn't see. We bought Solomon's with his contract. Now, nobody at Royal M, neither the president nor myself, was refusing that Solomon can join Kaizer Chiefs. No, people are missing the point. What we were saying is that Swallows cannot sell Solomon again to Kaizer Chiefs. He should be sold by Royal AM because he's our player. And it remains like that. Swallows has sold the player to us. They can't then sell the player again, which is what has happened. And people don't understand. They keep on saying, no, Royal AM is refusing Sinky this and Sinky that. It is like that. If Chiefs wants the player, or if Solomon wants to join Chiefs, all fine and good. Or if he wanted to join Sun, no problem if he didn't, but he was our player because we bought him. And any team that wanted Solomon should pay Royal AM. It's a business transaction, ladies and gentlemen. And that's it. That's what happened. The contract that I've got says that. And people have been talking, saying that, no, this and this and that. And it's interesting. I see this journalist, I'll quote him, Neville Koza, in a newspaper yesterday, saying that, no, Solomon's, it is, you know, he's not even saying, it's implied. There are no implications here. And that story to me is a stale story. And he even goes and writes that the CEO he has been writing that I'm a suspended CEO. Why couldn't he write the suspended CEO of Royal AM? Because it has been like that. That is the story of the players. And I've not been involved. That particular, what you call, was prepared. And Mapena then made a proposal to Royal AM, and he was party to that, because when that one, Mapena was party to that agreement that they are giving him to Swallows. And obviously it was the choice of Mapena whether he wanted to get there or not. Not me. Now I'm told that I've sold Mapena. And as a matter of fact, Mapena made a proposal for a mutual termination, which the document was forwarded to the president. I have never entered into any sale agreement of Mapena with any team. And as we speak now, Mapena is still at Royal AM. The very one that they say I've sold. The sale of Mr. Litswalo, which also was mentioned as if there's a 20 million thing, and I've now sold the player to Sekukun. Let me put this record straight. I, Sinky Mnisi, not on behalf of Royal AM, I would never, at any given time, put my leg at the doors of Sekukuni United Football Club. Even if they were to say all the teams are finished, I'd never work for Sekukuni, because they don't have ethics and morals. Football is a different ball game. That's why I, Sinky Mnisi, have been in football for quite a long time. I've walked the walk, and I can talk I've never been called to a disciplinary hearing in the PSL ever, for any reason whatsoever, because I am disciplined and I understand football. And I'm not in football for any other reasons other than being passionate about football, and to me it's a calling. And that's it. People will ask me, why are you saying that about, before I even go to that issue of Victor Litswalo. There's a certain gentleman called Propilane. He's a supporter. I know him to be a supporter of Sundowns. But he seems to want to be relevant in football matters, as if there's something that he knows. And I'm sure Propilane is younger than my firstborn. My firstborn is 42 years. He's a baby. And when I started in football, he was not there. You know, I've played football. Well, I was poor during that time. I played at the Zambak League. Some of you don't know there was a Zambak League in this. It was called the second division then. I then administered football through all the teams that I've mentioned, Jomo Son, Jomo Cosmos, and all those teams. I've run my own team, Vardos, which was in the ABC when I sold Timbers, wanted to Sundowns, when I became the millionaire. For the first time, I tasted $1 million from Sundowns. Yes, and I can say that. They paid me handsomely, Mr. Mtsipe, and thanks, Mr. Mtsipe, for making me a millionaire that time. Now, my gripe with Propilane, he goes and writes in his Twitter page that how would an official of an owner of a team be happy with his senior official having offices where his opposition team is training, meaning Sekhukhune. For the record, ladies and gentlemen, I was in those offices because I'm also a president of the local football association, Tembisa United Footballer. I'm the president. I've been a president for the past 10 years. For those that don't know, besides serving, being a CEO of Royal AM, I'm the president. And we've been in those offices long before Highlands Park I even bought shares at Highlands Park. Long before that, I've been in those offices. When Highlands Park started using Makulong, I was in those offices. When Highlands Park was sold and left, I remained in those. Long before Sekhukhune were to be born, and whether they thought they'll have a team, I was still in those. And this man goes and say, no, I'm sitting in those offices while Sekhukhune is. I'm still in those offices. Actually, Sekhukhune, the reason why Sekhukhune left Makulong, because we're resistant in Tembisa. That they cannot come and tell us to move out. They're telling the Football Association to get out of the offices. They wanted to use the stadium. For God's sake, you know, Tembisa Football Association has got a development structure and we're concentrating on development of the kids. You can't come in or must get out because you want to lease the stadium. Never. And that's it. So the sale of Litswalo, others have been saying, I'm a friend to Malach. I don't know the gentleman, which you respect. I don't know the president or the owner of what you call. Now, to go to Litswalo, I was not party to the discussion and the negotiations regarding the sale of Litswalo by Royal M to Sekhukhune FC. And don't misquote me. The bottom line is, this is my personal, it's not Royal AM that means I would never work for Sekhukhune. No, it's my personal feeling. I'm entitled to my opinion. We are living in a democratic country. There's a freedom of association, freedom of speech, and freedom of association. I choose who do I want to associate with, and that's it. So, the sale of Chala was not party to the discussion negotiation regarding the sale of Litswalo by Royal AMFC to Sekhukhune. I did not know how much Litswalo was sold for. I have not been I've not seen the contract of sale signed by both Royal AM Sekhukhune and the agent. I did not issue a clearance also. I've not been party to that. I'm not privy to the information. I don't know anything. Yet people are going out and saying, I'm sinking them, I'm selling players, I'm doing that. I don't know what happened with that deal. And by the way, Chiefs never said they will, Royal AM never said needed 20 million for Litswalo. That was from the media. That was from the media. And there was no written, what is it? What you call from Kaizer Chiefs asking to buy Litswalo. It was never there. So I fail to understand that people are going around saying that no, Mnisi refused to sell, and then he has sold Litswalo to his friend Malachi because they worked together sometimes ago. Please, gentlemen, I'm an old man now, at 64. I think I'm old enough to understand what is happening in football. I go to Marlon Hugh. You know, there's something very funny in our football. You know, when Royal AM was in the first division, nobody cared. Once Royal AM had the status of Celtics and all that was in the Premier League, we had a lot of experts and people who knew football who wanted to advise Royal AM. A lot. Now, the acquisition of Marlon Hugh, Matupu, and Mohaila from TS Galaxy was concluded between the president of Royal AM and the president of TS Galaxy, Mr. T.S. Sugazi. Not by Sinky Mnisi. Royal AM took over the contract of the 3 players. This is how the deal operated. They agreed because it was in January, the window. The president agreed with Mr. Sugas, the president of that, who are going to also take over the contract as they were. But then we had to negotiate for the contracts of these players so that they can be kept at Royal AM. So mine was just to facilitate that, sit down, have those contracts. And indeed, all three players, Makhaila, Matupu, and Malan, are having the same period in terms of their contracts. It was from January to June that we were finishing, and then 2 years, 1 year and an option. All three of them, because we got all three of them like that, right? And those players went and joined Royal AM after the negotiations between the two presidents. Now, it is quite strange that immediately after that, this is what happened. One of the former coaches of Royal AM, I'm not going to mention the name, sent a message to the president and said that, yeah, you must watch this Sinky Mnisi is bringing players from Tembisa. This Matupu guy is from Tembisa. Matupu is not from Tembisa. Matupu has also played for Royal Eagles, if my memory serves me fine. He did play there. Malone, who played for Highlands Park, went to Galaxy, is from Cape Town. He's not my friend. And Mohaila, Highlands Park got Mohaila. We got him from UJ. Brought him to Highlands Park, went to TSK, and I was not party to that, what you call. And, yeah. In respect, I think I jump, there's a what call that I will end. I will use it at the end. When all these insults were hurled at me, the president of Royal AM did not take any steps to deny these allegations and to protect my name. Despite repeated questions posed by the members of the media directly to the president of Royal AM regarding my alleged suspension charges and pending dismissal, the president of Royal AM failed to defend herself and Royal AM from the allegations and/or categorically deny the allegations. Ladies and gentlemen, it is head. That's why other people tend to look at others. And a company where there's a CEO, or not even a company where there's a CEO, as members of the media in the companies, the different media houses that you are working, if they are going to suspend you, they are first going to write a letter. That's the procedure. They'll write a letter that we intend suspending you because of the following reasons. Can you then respond to this and give reasons why you cannot be suspended? That's the first thing. Then you will respond, and then they will go on and say, yes, indeed, we have got your reasons, but we are going ahead with the suspension. We are suspending you for a particular period with pay or without pay. And you are going to be charged, and then they'll formulate the charges, give you the charges, and you'll be charged, and you'll be told that you can bring your legal representative to represent you, or anybody will represent you in the case. And then you'll go through that formal process, and then after that, once you have been found guilty, you'll be fired. Unlike that's what the media has done to me. So, Mnisi, you are fired. You are suspended, fired. I kept quiet for a long time to allow Royal AM and the president of Royal AM an opportunity to put the record straight regarding the allegations leveled against me in the media. However, the president of Royal AM and Royal AM, despite knowing that all that is stated in the media about me is incorrect, did not take an opportunity to put a stop to it, but allowed my reputation to be tried, found guilty, and hanged by the media. I am very much hurt. Offended, I feel humiliated, and most of all, disappointed considering the sacrifices, the loyalty, and the efforts that I had to put up with for the success of Royal AM FC, wherein now I am told I was sinking the team. Right. Before that, there's something that I want to go to. There's Mama Joy, hashtag, Sinky Mnisi as a CEO must fall. must be suspended. Ladies and gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned, Mama Joy is a supporter. In respect of the insult perpetuated against me, I do not intend to dignify Mama Joy and her insult with a response. The less said about Mama Joy, the better. That's from me. Finally, I have decided to take a special leave. This is what is happening. I remain a CEO of Royal AM Football Club. This is what is happening. I know I've seen people saying he's going to resign. I have decided to take a special leave to allow the gaping wounds and the scars inflicted upon me by the media and the public to heal before returning to football life. That's what we're here for. You want to know whether I'm still a CEO? Yes, I am a CEO of Royal AM. You want to know whether I'm resigning? No. I've taken a special leave. And this has been communicated to the president. I've sent an email to the president informing her about the decision that I'm taking as a CEO of Royal AM. Now, I want to send a special message to Neville. I'm up to here in Sloom. I've requested this particular gentleman previously when he wrote 2 articles, and I phoned him and I complained to him, and he said to me, no, I made an error. I'll rectify it. That, look, don't quote me if I haven't said anything, and don't write anything about me if I haven't said anything. And this gentleman has continued to even after he's the one who came up with the incident of me going to be fired and all that. I don't know, maybe members of the media, I don't know whether I'm owing the guy. And somebody from, I've just forgotten the name of the city. I don't know whether I'm owing the guy. And I don't know whether I had a relationship with her sister that I'm owing them. I don't know what I've done to this guy for him to do what he's doing. I'm being honest, and I don't like it. I don't have any problem with anybody criticizing me, but it should be constructive criticism. Don't come and try and drag my name in the mud. Now I'm saying to this gentleman and also Propilane, who wants to be relevant in the football matters, he said there were beans that were going to be spilled. I'm still waiting for those beans that are going to be spilled. And he, instead of focusing on Sundown's issues as a supporter, is focusing on, if he wants a job at Royal M to be a CEO, he must apply for the job. They'll give him the job. And that's it. No amount of envy or jealousy or hatred will stop me from achieving my objectives, and also to make sure that they erode my legacy. No. I've seen it all in football. And the issue about the Royal AM matter with Sekhukhune, one day the truth will come out. So I say, based on the rules, one day. For now, I think all the negative things that have been contributed to me, what I've noticed here is that every time there's a negative story at Royal AM, it's Sinky Mnisi. I fired a coach with the blessing of the president. First game we played in the Clet Africa, that was Mr. Lukubeni, I think. At Makulong, we were hammered by Sekhukhune 4. We agreed with the president that the coach should go. Not Sinky Mnisi. We agreed. He left. And I was interviewed and told that I don't know football, I don't know this, this team is bound for relegation. And the team ended on top. And I want everyone to go and check where Lukubeni's team ended on that season. I continued. There's another one that left the team. It was attributed to me. And then the team got promoted, got to the first, to be number 1. And go and check his record, what happened to him when he went to Black Leopards. How many games did he perform there? Now, one thing that I've noticed, that all negative things are attributed to me. But all the good work at Royal AM is credited to other people and coaches, not me. Yiphi team madoda nonke nihlelayo kuyakora 18 goals nge-injury time. South African football, as if you have been following football, yiphi. And lenta sicalanga ngoba kuze uMaduka. Sicale ku first division. I can count we scored against Sporting when the game was over. We scored against Takis in Pretoria when we were losing 1-0. We scored against Captain Spurs. There are many games that I can mention. Yet I'm sinking the team. With due respect to everybody, I wouldn't like to dwell much. Safe to say that I want to take this opportunity and thank my wonderful wife who has been supporting me all out and all through. And my family. Yes, I am taking a special leave from today. I still remain the CEO. When you write, guys, say the CEO of Royal AM. And if you want me to comment, ask me. If I say I don't have any comment, like I said in the media, ask the team, because that statement that came away was attributed from a source having heard it from the president, not me. So I had nothing to say. Now I've got something to say because I now want to clear the air. There's nothing wrong that I've done. For the record, gentlemen, I think I will have to stand up so that you can. You see this thick document? These are all emails, and this one, emails, correspondence, be it in a form of a WhatsApp or messages, and everything in terms of the contracts from Galaxy, Swallows, and the correspondence between myself and the president. Everything is here. Khabo, everything is here. I've got evidence. And normally, this portfolio of evidence that I've got, I'm not going to give it to the media, never. I'm not prepared to turn this into a Muvango or the bold and the bloody fool, the bold and the beautiful, or Seven the Line. I'm not here for that. I will protect, right? I will protect. What you needed to know was whether I'm a CEO or not, whether I know about this thing. I think that has been laid to rest. I will protect the integrity and the interests of Royal AM. I've got that. And whatever I've said there, I've got all the documents here. And I'm not giving it to the media because I don't think it is in the interest of anybody to just put that in the media so that we are busy in the media. I'm not interested into that. This will be for my, vocabulary. And at any time, when I fight a war, I fight it with evidence. And I don't engage myself into a fight if I don't have evidence. So this portfolio of evidence is not for public consumption. It's all proof that, yes, everything was above board. I've acted. There was no way in which I would hire and fire people. You can't. Those people must agree with the malices or icon. What if me and Khabo Zondo will get 2 million? I can't do that, the number thing I can't do that. So with those little words, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say thank you very much for coming. I remain. I've never been suspended. No one can produce a suspension letter. No one can produce a charge sheet or charges. Royal M has not issued that. I don't have that. That's what I was waiting for Royal M to clear. They haven't done that. I'm doing it now. I still remain because people are expecting that I'll run away from Royal AM. Hey, I put a lot of effort for that team. Hey, gentlemen, I'm going to relax, like I've said, taking a special leave. Enjoy as my weekend, enjoy Okshala. That's what I'm going to do now. I love football. I'm passionate about football. To me, football is a calling. And I respect all the journalists, but although I'm not a qualified journalist, but I think there are ethics of journalism. There are things that you need to follow as a journalist. You can't write a story without any evidence. People have said I'm suspended. No one can produce that letter. My lawyer is waiting for that letter. From the 13th until today, I don't have any. I've never been suspended. I've never I don't want to get to the other one, which is interesting. But I can say it. There's nothing to hide. I received also my salary. If I was suspended, I wouldn't be paid. Am I correct? I've been paid. So everything is here. Thank you very much, young man. Those who have got questions can ask. Masiqeda la ngaphandle kunezoso sithi ukubambisa. Abanemibuzo bangangibuza abafowethu. Yebo mfowethu.
How is your relationship with the president? Since you're saying that she failed to protect you, she could have easily said to the question, "No, my CEO is suspended," and then it ends there. Then the rumors would have ended.
The relationship will always remain cordial. I don't know what was the reason behind that. I don't know, and I'm not going to speculate until Masengbuile mhlawumbe from my special leave. Then I can be able to ask myself. I can't answer that one. But at the moment, the relationship remains cordial. She remains the president, I remain the CEO of Royal AM. Yes, sir.
With regards to your special leave, are you at liberty to tell us why
I mean, I've already given a reason. I want to heal. I think, okay. Please, Tabs, can you please take those, guys, you can take a copy of there's a reason there why I'm taking a special leave. Now, I'm press releases, you can take them so that you can be able to get everything from there. Yes, sir.
Just wanted to check with regards to the relationship between, or should I put it this way, what could have gone wrong, between then and now?
I'm not going to be able to answer that. I don't know. But I'm just saying, gentlemen, what is red is red. What is right, and what is wrong. I've not been suspended. It needs a person to just stand up and say, yes, he has not been suspended, that's all. So I don't know. I wouldn't be in a position to answer that one. But as far as I'm concerned, the relationship is cordial. I'm fine with the president of the team. Is it a follow-up, sir?
Yes. Just on that.
I hope, you are saying you're from the Citizen. Yes. I hope you'll write something correctly now. Nalomkosi, Nipalinte right. Because you started, the Citizen is the one that's the part. By the way, Citizen and Sowetan, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm done with the press ombudsman. I'm coming for you. Maybe in Funungenza be rich, and I'm going to fight until the bitter end. There was no suspension letter. There was nothing. I was never charged. Yes, sir.
My question is, have you spoken to the president about these rumors? Has she said anything to you? And secondly, on the Solomon matter, where does it stand now? Are you going to contest him?
No, there's no reason to contest. Let me start with Dylan Solomon. That chapter is closed. Between chiefs and the president of Royal M and Swallows, they must just pay what Royal M needs. That's all. The player, he has signed for chiefs, but chiefs must buy the player not from Swallows, but from Royal M. It's as simple as that. I think those processes are unfolding. You come to the second one and say, why didn't I?
Can I just follow up on that one? But if he is signed for chiefs, how did you do that? Because you have the contract.
Yes, you can remember. That's why I say, guys, we must look into the rules. The football. I can buy a player and not make him to co-sign. I've bought the player, is my asset. But if the player decides that, no, but I don't want to play for Royal M, I want to play for Sundowns, he can go to Sundowns. But Sundowns cannot go and buy the player from Swallows. They must come and buy the player from Royal M. That's what we're saying. And we're not contesting the fact that the player should not go to Kaizer Chiefs. No, he's at liberty to join a team of his choice. He's free to do that. But then Swallows must not be engaged in the transaction. It should be Royal AM that is engaged in the transaction. That's simple as that.
But have you given the clearance to Chiefs to say they can?
I can't comment on that. Can I leave that because the president is handling that at the moment? Please, so that then you can write correctly, yes.
Has the president spoken to you about these rumors? I know that in the media she couldn't say anything, but has she spoken to you about it to clarify side, what's happening, just to talk about it, please.
I have not asked the president. And in my, what you call, I've said, I've deliberately kept quiet so that then these stories can unfold. And once I've cooled down, so that you don't act emotionally, with emotions. You act ngendlela right. I'm a matured person. When they come to me and say, this gentleman says you said this, I don't think it is for me to ask you. You must just say, I distance myself from those allegations. That's all. That's what I understand. Ma unobuntu. Angisho ukuthi akanabuntu, but ubuntu buthi once bathi mina ngithe kuzibanibani, I'm the one who must say, matwafu ma what you call fasi and marumo fasi. I don't know anything about that. But I don't want people to assume that she's a good president, and I'm working well with her. But indlu nendlu, I'm sure kuba mawuhleli nonkosikazi wakho kuyaye kube nezinto, you don't go out and discuss those outside. Maybe there will come a time one day mangijabulile, uyabona njengaloku ngisho ukuthi mangijabulile sizohlala naye after my special leave, maybe discuss. Don't stress about that. And also I don't know, ngifuna niclear lento ukuthi I'm thinking. I don't know which team, because Royal Air has been very much successful. I don't know which one have I been thinking. Yes, ma'am.
Sinky, so you said that the team did very well last season.
Yes,
now,
yes.
Don't you think that such matters are forces trying to destabilize the team because of your success now? We are focusing on the what to do.
I don't think so. I think the team is in capable hands. And, you've got to respect the president. She's passionate just like me, and she loves football, and she's hands-on. And obviously, she is there to look after the interests of the team whilst I'm taking leave. And there are other individuals there that are, of course, and also there are coaches, there are players. We have signed very well. And that's it. So I think the team will do very well during my special leave. And I hope and trust that they are in good hands. Make no mistake about that. The team will still proceed and do what they are supposed to do in the field of play. That's Royal AM for you, Twitchy Twat. Yes, sir.
I think it's promoted from Sunday. Well,
Can
you give us more clarity on the Mashikinya issue? You said that it was not concluded and you went through it quite quickly. Can you give us more?
It is in the document, you'll get it. I was not party to Mashikinya's departure from the team. I was not party to that. But because you do have it on the press release, you can go through it if you don't mind. Because I don't want to make it longer. It is there, it's stated clearly. But I'm just saying I was not party to that. There's no player that has left Royal AM now that I've been party to. Yeah, Boba.
Yeah, just on the issue of the press conference.
Sure.
Itself. Before staging it, go through the club, or those are powers vested in you as the CEO of the club, and when was the last time you were in touch with the club president?
I've been at home for quite some time. I've not, by the way, the powers of taking a leave on me. I'm the one who feels the pains. I decide. It's like if I'm sick, I'm the one who will go to the doctor. I'm not going to wait for permission to be given to me to go to a doctor. I am sick. I'm the one who's feeling the pains. I'm the one who has been on the media all out and all through. And I've decided to act decisively to make sure that I take a special leave. And that cannot be denied.
So you didn't need the permission?
I repeat again, Zolile, I think I'm very clear. When I am sick, I don't need permission from anybody to go to a doctor. Simple. It's a patient who goes to a doctor. I don't need to ask my wife whether I can go to a doctor or any other person. I am sick. I'm the one who's feeling the pains. I'm going to a doctor. Simple. I'm the one that has been on the media, Velil. It is Sinky Mnisi. Maliciously so. And I feel I need to relax, Velil. Why do I have to ask a gentleman now that I feel offended I must go in? I feel I need to take a breather, Velil. Simple.
And what kind of response is the legal team getting when you want clarity on this suspension?
I'm not going to share that with you. The legal team is handling everything. But one thing that I can tell you that I'm going for Sowetan and I'm going for the Citizen. Actually, as a matter of fact, because I'm a gentleman, I did phone the sports editor of Sowetan and warned him about this. I did phone the sports editor, Mate, and warned him about this. And I told him that, listen, Mr. Mate, you are dealing with a different kettle of fish. You know, I miss those days. You know, let me confess today. Say for your generation, what you call, and Nabompet. I miss the day of the Silo Rabutatas, the Mulifimikas, the Kwenaites of this world, and many more, in terms of their journalism. I miss that. I'm not saying all of you are bad. No, don't get me wrong. But some of the things that some few journalists are doing, it is as if they've not gone to the school of journalism. Because surely you won't write a story and say somebody has been suspended when you don't have a document of that sort. You would never do that. That's malicious. I mean, really, you have been there. You have seen it all. Can anybody produce a suspension document here? None. Not even the Mgosi and their people and all that. None. Yet I'm suspended. I've been told that I'm going to the DC. Nobody has seen that. I've been told that I'm going to be fired. How can you just come in and say, the CEO is fired? There are repercussions for such things. There are protocols and measures that are to be taken when you decide to suspend somebody or take a person to a TC. You don't just abruptly wake up and say, no, I'm going to do it because I'm angry. No, it's wrong. I've followed all the channels. My legal team has said, let's first deal with the press ombudsman. We've dealt with that and submitted all the necessary documents and all the evidence from our side. It is for them to respond. In the suspension. We've also demanded that they send it to us with immediate effect. From the 13th, when this story emanated, till today, E3, how many days? 20 days later? I don't know how many days is it. So, yeah, I still remain the CEO of Royal AM. And when the time comes that maybe I need to sit down with my president after discuss, I will do that. I will do that. But I don't think it will be good for me to go and discuss issues when I'm still emotional, when I'm still in pains. I want to go and discuss a matter when I'm in a good position. I can even turn it out to be a joke if I want to. So I'll be able to talk very. Yes, sir.
I'll wait for one of them.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but my colleague called Marquis the Pipe was coming just to confirm this particular press conference. She dismissed it as fake news. So that sort of adds to what seems to be a cold war between yourself and her. It seems like
I wouldn't like, without even going any further, that's her comment. You got it from her. Is it fake news? Thank you. Case closed. Case closed. Let's not even bother to go there. That's exactly what I'm saying. Guys, you spoke to her. She told you what she told you. You are here now. Is it fake news? Do I look like I'm fake or do I look like I'm joking? Thank you. I'm real. Case closed. Let's get something else. Please, citizen, I want to, gentlemen, I've got a long way to go. Oh, by the way, Tembisa is closed. You must be very careful. So kufuna ngene lokishini kusakhanya bangaze bangivale labana ndaba ukuthi you are a public figure bakukhipha bakubekele ngaphandle. So yes sir.
Yeah, Either said something interesting in one of the interviews that when she came back from holiday that she arrived and there was no coach.
I've answered that, sir. Maybe you arrive late. You'll get it in the document.
But why is there?
I don't know. Ask Mamkize. I mean, you can't direct what Mamkize said to me. And I'm being honest. Ask the president. Ask, or you want me to say, ask my president. Why that? I can only answer to what is directly attributed to me and what I need to say. And I'm saying I'm taking a special leave. Fake news or not, but I'm taking a special leave. Citizen, you still want to, yes, sir.
Just on the topic of leave, jobs could be well that particular leave, but at the moment, what is the feeling like? Do you see yourself continuing at the club after that leave? And if you do go back to AM, do you not fear that this whole situation might affect your dynamics with regards to the management as well as the players of the club?
You see, there's this saying that sometimes desperate times requires desperate measures. I am not well at the moment. I've been tried and tested by the media and found guilty. And I've got kids. That you must understand. I've got kids that are forever. I'm not on Twitter, not on all the things that I've got, I'm getting them from my kids. Because they said, Dad, what's happening here? Dad, you have been fired. Dad, you can imagine what goes through the family. And not only that, gentlemen, I'm a family person. And like I was indicating, I'm also the president. Of course, there are others that are celebrating. You know, I've seen one in his, I was also shown by my kids that he said he was waiting for Friday when it was said that I was going to, he said Friday will be his best day. I've never heard of people celebrating somebody else's downfall. That's how we are. But I'm saying, with due respect, the last press conference that took place in Durban, where the Sowetan, Mr. Neville Koza wrote that I was definitely going, and people confirmed that, the so-called sources. That's where this thing should have been cleared once and for all. So that, I will cross that bridge when I get there. And please, members of the media, I've already had people phoning me that they hear that there's another team looking for me, there's another, no. Let me put it very, very clear. I've had 3 teams in the PSL looking for me, 4 in the first division and 2 in the ABC Mutsip. I'm not committing to anybody because I'm still a CEO at Royal AM. It is alleged. There are no allegations. I still remain a CEO of Royal AM Football Club. Your question is very clear. When I come back from my leave, I will start where I left off. Simple. We don't handle problems for it. You might see it differently. Maybe the president saw it differently. I cannot speak on her behalf. Situation umuntu dila ngendlela yakhe. Now I'm dealing with the situation ngendlela yami manje ukuthi I'm here to declare this is not fake news, it's real. Sinky Mnisi is here to say the way it is. And I've said, here are documentary proof, but I'm not going to turn this into Muvango, Seven the line and all that. The bold and the bloody, and the bold and the beautiful. And then give the media left, right, and center. I've got an integrity to protect her. And I respect other people. And I want to be respected too. You know, I'm not here to score points. And this is not for scoring points. It's just that you need to make sure that you have got a portfolio of events when you deal with a situation. That's all. I am the CEO. One journalist phoned me. He was working for SABC. I was with you this morning. He said, I believe that you have left the CEO's position. Can you give me a number to call Royal AM? Who can I speak to there? He must call me. I'm the CEO. I'm the CEO here. But by the way, members of the media, hey, I enjoy my job at Royal AM. And I'm well looked after, save for what is, I'm well looked after at Royal AM. And any problems that emanates between me and the president, because Royal AM, I report to the president, that was the act. We own land. Nalelanga sengihamba, ngizoya kuye ngimthethe sengihamba manje. Angazi noma niyangizwisisa bafowethu. Lelanga sema wangilanda. Nalelanga sangikufunezeke imangitshele. Or mina ngizomtshela lelanga sengihamba. Kwamanje ngiyanitshela ngimthumelele letter of what you call unayo to clear lento isho ukuthi it's not fake news. It's real. I'm going on special leave. Ngiyophumula. Any question for it? Are you satisfied now? I appreciate your question. Citizen, I thought you were done. Yes, sir. Oh, kunesinye isandla la. Okay, yes, sir.
It's from Times Live. President, I'd like to know when is your special leave going to end, and were you involved in the hiring of the other two coaches to form the pre-coaching situation?
The hiring of who?
Coach Dan and Abraham
Nteo has always been in the team, so it shows that you don't know your story. Abraham Nteo has always been in the team as an assistant coach, sir.
In his elevation as the co-coach and the bringing of Dan Malisel.
No, I was not involved in the hiring of Dan Malisel, but it doesn't matter. During my absence, the team must continue to work. If that decision has been taken, so be it. I was not involved. By the way, as a matter of fact, I've got Dan Malisel as also what you call where he sent me a message. You know, I keep records, where he asked me, it was on the 20, I can't remember the date, where he asked me whether that job, I said yes, it was filled, that position was filled. But there's nothing wrong in that. Let us not I don't want us to make an issue about the coaches. There's Khabo Zondo, there's Tentens, there's Nteo. It's fine. If they can work together, so be it. Mina ke indlela engisebenza ngayo wena mfowethu from Time Lives. With Sinky Mnisi you can bring any coach uyibekela. We will get the results. You bring any coach, umbekela, sizowina. Ngiyaphinda futhi. I'm the only person in the South African football cycle who will tell you before they go to badlala abantu. I'm the only person who will tell you this is what is going to happen. I've declared it to Highlands Park, which is your promoter, and I declared it Sawina hands down. Even before. Even now, I've said everything about the Royal Amazons. It has been exactly like that. Or nginamadlozi why ningangibuzi lokuthi or nginesikhwanyana nginesikhwanyana sami engisebenza. I don't need anybody to assist me on that. So it's a God-given talent when I'm for it enginayo uNkulunkulu wangipha akasiphi ngokufana uNkulunkulu, otherwise we'd all be journalists. So mina wangipha lokho ebhox Sinky Mnisi ngiyakuthuma emhlabeni hamba uyoba ebholeni, and I'm doing exactly that. That's why ngistressa le ndaba ukuthi thina ku first Premier League sishaye 18 goals nge-injury time. 18. Maningi kakhulu amagoli baloku bathi hayi the team is very fit. Na ku Highlands Park the team is fit. Namanje but the team is fit. 18. Abanye that's why lona viewership ye Royal Aim is very high. Because everybody stay glued on the TV screens and on the radios to look at Royal Aim. Nase ground bafuna ukubona ukuthi mara namhla bayokwenzani. Sesiyaliqala ke sithwihle ithwahla. Isikhathi game bathi phelile sishaye nethi bathi labantu there goes Royal Aim again. Akusiyi mistake ni siyashaya. Injalo nje mfowethu. So I enjoy what I'm doing in football. And not only now, I've been enjoying what I've been doing. Lang fia kona kube sautuke bacho jwalo kasutu ne. Nguba suvute mfowethu. Kuna question ngibona isandla somewhere. I'm sure sesicedile man. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to declare this press conference closed, and thank you for attending, and I really appreciate each and every your time and all that, and I hope and trust that we will deal very well with all these issues. Now, having heard it from the donkey's mouth, from the horse's mouth, I was not here to discredit, but I'm just saying it as it is and as it happened. But once again, and ngabufakazi mina mani nenobufakazi beni nama suspension letters wakhipheni madoda sihlangane phambili kuyozwakala kutawuvakala ngelithambo kwephuka ngeSwati nayi lona lana bafowethu, and la maniphuma la kunezoso lapha. Enjoy yourselves, and thank you very much for coming. Yeah.